The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello everybody and welcome to our webinar, How to Get the Most Out of Your Traffic Using Performance Marketing Techniques. Thank you so very much for being here today side by side with us. We are very glad to have gathered such a great attendance and we are eager to help each other out in learning new techniques and maybe remembering old ones that could be repurposed and adapted to our day-to-day activities in order to hit that level of performance that everybody wants in their marketing. First of all, some administrative talk. Everybody will receive the presentation, the recording after this webinar, so sit back and enjoy. After we will end this session, we will upload our presentation on YouTube, so don't worry for taking notes during it. Everybody will receive everything in their inbox tomorrow. Another useful fact about this webinar and the webinar console is that at the end of the session we will have a 10 minutes questions and answers session, and everybody is welcome to ask us anything on the topic of the webinar by using that feature in the webinar console, which is for questions. You can spot the place in the right hand of your screen with a little plus side by side to it. Whenever you have a question, please address it to us, and also feel free to use this box if you are experiencing technical difficulties. Let us know so that we can mend things right away. If we won't be able to answer all of the questions, we will follow up with you by email tomorrow or the day after. A few words about myself. I'm Laura Moisei. I'm a marketing and PR manager for 123 Contact Form, the web form and survey builder. And my key performance indicator for today is the extent in which I will be able to show you how to use the power of data for your business success. A quick presentation. I have been involved in the marketing and PR activities of 123 Contact Form since 2011, and I have worked with businesses all across the world in improving their performance using data mining techniques. And here, life is as busy as it is merry at 123 Contact Form, and this is why you can see I'm stating I'm in a complicated relationship with work, and we are truly in love here with our day-to-day activity, and we are so happy to be acquainted to you, our wonderful audience and our users. And whenever you feel the need to ask us any question, our team is right here to answer everything form and survey related and in the same field. Okay. Now a few words about 123 Contact Form. Our service is a web form and survey builder, as stated before, and also is used by a large percent of our users as an interaction and data management tool. We are on the market since 2008, and we have reached the level of more than 600,000 businesses using our services from 180 countries worldwide. Our customers enjoy the fact that we are hosted on the Amazon Web Services. It is among the most stable platforms in the world, and we are also glad to be partners of so many apps that are part of the business toolkit of many websites. We are partners of Salesforce.com, of Unbounce, ExactTarget, Hootsuite, and other big names out there. And another thing to know about the service is that it works good with more than 40 business apps. So apart from the ones listed here, we also integrate several payment gateways such as PayPal, Authorize.net, Stripe, and the forms that you create with 123 contact form for any business task can be placed on any CMS or virtually any web platform, such as your website, your blog, disseminated through your email, or shared on social media. And that's it about me for now. I will give the presenter's seat to my co-speaker, Valentin, who will also tell you a bit about himself. Valentin?
Yes, hello. Thanks, Laura. Thanks, everyone, for attending. I'm Valentin Radu. I'm the CEO of Marketizator. I'm going to talk with you about performance marketing, what it means, and what's it all about. A few things about me. I'm a dad of two, husband of one. Yeah, I'm an entrepreneur since 2001. The first exit I've made in 2004. I'm also the co-founder of the leader in online insurance in Romania and the founder and CEO of Marketizator, the first integrated CRO platform coming from Romania. Right now, through Marketizator, you can do A/B testing, web personalization, and segmented surveys so that you can have behavior insights and to capture leads under the same roof. There are 29 types of segments in our own engine. We are using as well Amazon Web Services technology. More than 2,000 websites are testing with Marketizator, and basically that's it. That's it for me till this moment. I'm going to tell you a few things before starting. So the main thing that I'm hearing from marketers is that it's hard to achieve performance in marketing because the competition is really strong, and you need to focus. You need to do many things, which is very normal during this dynamic economy where technology is eating the world. But the thing is that whether you think you can or you can't, you're right in both cases. So basically, you need to understand that you need to have a very good state and to always change your strategy if the old one is not working. So during this session, we are going to present you some case studies and some tips and tricks so that you can optimize your websites and to get the most out of your traffic. So Laura, I'm going to pass this to you right now.
Thank you, Valentin. Just a fun fact about us sitting here today in front of you. Actually, we are not sitting in the same place at all. We are at about 500 kilometers apart in two separate cities of Romania and Eastern Europe, and we have to do a sort of a dance in order to synchronize across this distance and to be able to deliver this continuous presentation. So this is to say that we are apologizing in advance for any hiccups that could interfere with the normal flow of the presentation, and we are very eager to see where it goes and how this distance can be overcome in order to fit an awesome audience like you are. Okay, so let's go on and let's see our first topic for today. As we move on to becoming more technical marketers, we naturally stumble upon a lot of questions, and these come through our day-to-day activity and are to be answered through various techniques that are recognized in the industry. This is why we thought it would be a good idea to give you today an A to Z guide as good as possible to optimizing your sales funnel, because we are speaking about e-commerce here in any way or shape or form it could take, e-commerce of any products, goods, or services. It all has a common denominator in shaping a good sales funnel. This leads to unbeatable success in your marketing endeavors. And let's see how you could get to a performance marketing by having a good sales funnel. First of all, main problem with most business marketing projects that we've met so far is that at some point in their existence, they find a red alert in their analytics and in their business stats. A red alert that says that they have too low conversion rate on their website. They have a conversion that doesn't meet their own expectations or the objective established by business owners for their in-course. And most of marketers that I know, and myself even, have the tendency of blaming the easy culprit, which is the website design. We tend to say, oh my God, I have a deprecated design, my buttons don't look so well, so therefore it means that this is the reason people are not converting on my website. Well, this could be an indicator, but the truth is that things are more nuanced here. And we should look at them through a 3D viewpoint, to say so. And I'm adventuring here to say that in most cases, the real trouble with low conversion rates is caused by the sales funnel, which is incorrectly configured or even missing in some cases. And this could be very bad for the business, could lead to casualties translated in loss of profit and in lack of resources for continuing. Now, this concept, which is very widely used, of a sales funnel, how can we break it apart? We can actually pinpoint 3 stages of the sales funnel that could give us a better view upon our user behavior and upon the reasons that can lead to them to abandon the cart and to drop a possible conversion. The first of them is the top of the funnel. The top of the funnel is that stage in the buying process where your prospects or your website visitors or your audience is not yet aware that your solution exists. So this happens when you have low traffic on your website. This is the main red flag that tells you that you have a problem at the top of the funnel. So when you spot that people are avoiding your website, it means that your main goal for the next period of time is to try and build brand awareness. So this is how you nurture your top of the funnel prospects in order to become aware of your product or your service. And how specifically, you might be asking, how can you do that? You can do that by driving search engine referrals or becoming visible in Google or in Yahoo or in Bing, or better off in all of them. Also, exposure on social media is a great we've reached the middle of the funnel, and this is characterized by prospects who know about the business, know your brand, can even remember its name, but have not yet made the mental connection that tells them that your business can be the solution to their problems. Okay, so The red flag that says that you have something to work upon at the middle of the funnel is when you notice in your Google Analytics that your average bounce rate is above 50%. Okay, so this is an industry benchmark. Most of the e-commerce businesses which operate online and tend to have a middle of the funnel crisis at some point in time are situated with their average bounce rate above 50%. Okay, so make sure that when you spot this kind of thing on your website, you jot down your homework to work upon educating your audience about your solutions. Now, to make a small parenthesis here, of course, things may vary over time. Some periods during the year are better than others. Some seasons are more lax, but it always happens that there's an average that can indicate to you the performance or lack of performance at the middle of the funnel. And what you can do about that to make the middle of the funnel more effective is to help people identify their problem and to give them your solution to that problem. Now, that usually can be achieved by optimizing the key pages on your website for this, which are the feature product page or the page where you showcase your service in a business context, where you present them your products, your merchandise, or you present them your solutions. Now, what you can really do on that page is to work upon the content, of course, to work upon the calls to action, and our personal advice here from 123 Contact Form and Marketizator today is to try to see a little outside the box and to try to initiate a dialogue with your visitors. And a quality dialogue can really occur by creating a series of on-page interactions, such as the simplest one, through a pop-up survey, or a survey that appears on the screen after the visitor perhaps spent a couple of seconds on the web page, so he had become aware of the content and is ready to engage in a meaningful conversation. Okay, so you can really place a survey there, asking them, hello, what's your objective? What are you looking to achieve on our website, and how can we be of help for you? This is a method of collecting meaningful information that could shape your marketing messages for the better, and also is a way of showing people that you care about them. Everybody loves to know that their opinion is valued, and when they spend some time into filling in such a survey, then you know that they have performed a micro conversion, and they are one step ahead in the sales funnel where you want them to be. And last but not least, there is the bottom of the funnel, of course, where prospects are very, very close to closing a sale. They are aware of your services, but they haven't yet performed the conversion because they lack some dose of trust. So they aren't really sure that you really deliver that right solution for them from various viewpoints. Now, the indicator that you might have a problem at the bottom of the funnel is if your conversion rate on the website in average goes below 1%. I'm sorry. Now, for this average, it's very useful to pinpoint the main conversion paths. So you can create a funnel in analytics, taking into account the trajectory that prospects usually follow when entering the website and heading towards a conversion, and you can really leave aside those pages which are not relevant in your buying process. Any website has some presentation pages that are there for ranking purposes, perhaps, or for other goals, but don't participate in the sales funnel. An advice from me is to leave them aside in order to have clear reports. Okay. Now, what you can do to improve the performance at the bottom of the funnel is to earn your prospects' trust. And how to do it, that's really a child's play for many marketers that are out there, because it's a very common technique, showcasing success stories and placing well thought and heartfelt testimonials on the landing pages that visitors go to. Also, a very wise strategy is to shorten the path to conversion by placing some lead generation forms in the way of your visitors. So I'm basically saying here that you can use the power of web forms and form interactions in order to stimulate visitors' action and to help them perform some micro conversions in their path to closing a sale for you. Okay? And if you are curious how other businesses did it, don't be afraid to ask us anything. We are willing to share success stories and the stories of marketers who struggled and who really made it using simple techniques like form surveys, funnels in analytics, and the like. Now, here is a portraitization of the sales funnel through the eyes of the merry guys at the evolvecreativegroup.com. If anybody is quite unfamiliar with how a real sales activity or scenario can look like, here is one. So they thought about an example with CEOs and chefs of donut franchises that don't know about some company's new bacon donut recipe. So this is the first stage in the funnel. They are the prospects at the top of the funnel. While moving on towards the middle of the funnel, they become contacts as they reach out to the business by phone, by email, or in person to ask about services or about that new bacon donut recipe. Moving on, the leads are generated out of those contacts after performing another action. So after becoming more acquainted with the service by, say, requesting a sample or requesting more information about that miracle recipe. Now, another point in the process then comes the finalist stage, which is at the point where those CEOs and chefs, so the previous prospects, are now ready to make the purchase, but still have a small hinder in their way because they probably want to check out other flavors or they want to just think some more about it. After you answer, or the business who provides the bacon donut answers their concerns here, then voila, they become clients and they are gained at on the side of the e-commerce business who provides that miracle recipe. Okay, so you can see that it's fairly simple, but it really takes battery of well-thought actions in their conversion path to stimulate them to really head towards the conversion that you dream to. Okay. Now, an example of how a sales funnel can be. The long version would be, let's say, users searching for a specific keyword, then arriving to the company website, which is if you have optimized the website for SEO so that is visible preferably in the first page of the search engine results. And afterwards, people be there in order to read some posts and some articles about the solutions that you provide. Next, there comes a micro action, which can be downloading a white paper about the service, and afterwards visiting the features or services page, where, as we said before, the wise thing to do is to place a survey that asks them about their problems. After that, let's say that they exit the website. It can be very probable, but there's no reason to be sad about. You can, as a marketer, you can re-engage them by retargeting ads to them, let's say on Facebook, ads that have a personalized content which you can think of based on the results of the survey that you've given them at the previous step. So the prospects in the scenario see the ad on Facebook or other retargeting ads, let's say in the search engine via AdWords, and they remember about your service, which is the point where maybe they want to reinsure the thought that your service is right for them. So they want some reassurance, and they can search for a case study or a positive review from a peer of them, either online or on your website. If they are lucky and they find it, then they return on your website, where probably they can fill out a quote request form or another type of lead generation form, and they become a lead or a customer. Or the short version of all the story that we said before, the prospect can go searching for a topic of his interest, then arrive on your website, then leave but get retargeted by AdWords or Facebook ads. Afterwards, they can read some customer testimonials to gain trust in your service. They return on your website and complete the buying process. Okay, moving on. Here is a wonderful example of specific sales funnel designed by the folks at retargeter.com, and which also comprises the tools and means that you can use in order to stimulate the prospect's journey towards completing conversion. So first of all, at the top of the funnel, when visitors are not aware of your solution, you can optimize your results in the search engines, and you can use custom audiences to target ads to them. Afterwards, as they move on, they perform a visit on your website, and there's the interaction that we've spoken about through forms or surveys. When you've managed to stir their interest, then you can import their lead in a CRM. There's a lead which you've obtained by them filling out your web form at the previous step, and there's the moment when you can actually start and re-engage them through email if they have performed an opt-in process, and in the form they've expressed their consent to be contacted by you further on. Next, when they're in the evaluation stage, your website is also useful by giving them information about the solution that you have for the problems, and you can also be active at this point in time by using all the tools that are in your marketer's toolkit, such as CRM functions, an email campaign, or dynamic search ads, in order to get them engaged with your product or service and to stimulate them to move on into your funnel. Next, you are very close to the conversion. The prospects are now committed to engaging with your service, and after this point, there comes the stage where they actually become referrals, and you can repeat the entire process by reiterating everything that you've done so far in order to stimulate a repeat buy or to engage other users of the likeness of the previous ones. Okay, now what you can do in order to optimize your sales funnel is to pay special attention to your calls to action, and I'm speaking here of all calls to action, both on your website and in your email campaigns. And also take care of your ads and the message that you display to them in order to actually link the stages of the sales funnel and to present a coherent message to prospects. It is actually crucial in the sales process that the stages of the funnel, 3, 4, 5, 7, how many you would like to think of them as to be interlinked so that there is no gap. The visitors do not choke their buying journey, and they find the path to conversion as fast and easy as possible. Okay. You can use Google Analytics to pinpoint the user's journey and actually get your paper and a pen and jot down the stages that your particular users use to go in order to reach that conversion point. There is no foolproof formula. Every business is special in its own ways, and we encourage you warmly to start personalizing your web content and to think of your business as a sales machine and one that can be really optimized and driven to more sales and more conversions in the future. Okay, so here is the point when I'm passing the presenter seat to Valentin again, who will tell you some further good information about web personalization and how you can become performant in your marketing.
Yeah, so thanks, Laura. I wanted to say to the audience that they can have a whole free ebook about funnel optimization by clicking on this link. And I'm going to the next chapter. I'm going to talk with you about three things that we have on our plate. First is how to differentiate yourself and what differentiation means. Then the growth hacking, and last but not the least, is about web personalization. So what being different actually mean, and why do you need to be different? First of all, you need to be different because that's how our brain is wired. So we are not looking at the same things that we've seen before. We are always striving for the novelty. We are always being tricked by link baiting. We are always looking at the red spot upon the gray thing. So being different in terms of web and making your web presence different means to take into account the whole value chain of your website. So you have the research part, then the product, the technology, the way you are communicating, and the customer service. So on each step of this value chain, you need to be different. I'm not going to spoil your time by reading all those things, but the main thing is that when you are doing research, how can you be different? What kind of customer insights can you get from your web analytics? What kind of a team can you use in order to find out what's behind the effect? What's behind the fact that people are actually not converting, are not making the actions that you would like them to do? What's different based on the address markets that you might use, or in terms of the behavior insights that you're getting. Then moving on to the product, you need to be different by the brand that you're using, the functionalities, the quality versus price ratio. So every step of this thing can be tweaked, and you should put the right questions in order to get the right answer. Then moving to the technology, you have the user interface, the page speed, the personalization, the technological innovation, and the tools that you are using. You can be different by looking onto what's new on the market, but not staying and always doing what the market leaders are doing, but looking at the new things and tweaking the system so that you can be in front of your competitors. Then looking at differentiating yourself by the advertisement that you are doing and the way that you are communicating. So you can be different by having a huge budget, but that's not going to solve the problem. You can see the big players which are using big budgets, but you can use the viral growth and the leverage that you can get from getting recommended by your own visitors right now. So you can be different in terms of positioning yourself different by using other channels that they are not using, or by getting leverage by viral growth. And we are going to talk about this further on growth hacking techniques. And the last but not the least is the customer service. Are you using the good old principle under promise, over delivery? Are you taking into account the satisfaction? Are you measuring the satisfaction? Are you doing post-sale services, or you are just getting the money from your visitors or from your customers, and that's it? So basically, on each step of these 5 things, you should take into account, and you could tweak the system so that you will be different. You can see some example here. You can go right now to lush.com. The experience is a total different experience. I mean, it's unlike any other cosmetics website that you are seeing. Not all those smiley faces, not all buy this and get that. Yeah, on the first step, you are getting this emotional thing and all those things moving on there with the videos. Moving on to another example of very cool product differentiation, it's Apple. So they have a small number of products. They are creating demand so that everybody stays queuing to the next iPhone 7 that will come. They are focusing on the clients with high income, so their priority is the revenue, not the amount of sales. Another example which I like very much is Airbnb. If you go right now on Airbnb, they are using a video and they are making you feel the emotion of moving to a new home, because basically that's what they are delivering to their customers. They are delivering an experience, and the economy is moving now from selling goods to selling services to selling experiences. So that's why if you go right now to Airbnb.com, you will see that nice girl sleeping there, and then another thing with some other guys being outside on a porch doing barbecue and everything. And the main focus is on the filters and the search bar. So you don't see like 30 spots where you could click, but you can see only focusing on the things which are delivering the best revenue for them. Like people need to find out the homes that they are going to use in during their trips. So the homework for you for this chapter is to put yourself the right questions, and the questions are: what are my points of differentiating? How am I different on all those steps? Like how is my team different? How is my customer insight? How is my product? How is my online presence? How is my advertisement and everything like this? What is it that makes me stand out of the crowd? What is my differentiated strategy in terms of product, people, communication, technology, and client service? So put yourself into work and answer to these questions, because by staying here and by not doing anything more than you did till yesterday is not going to change the problem with your company or with your product. The next step is about growth hacking, and what growth hacking actually means is mixing this wonderful persuasion principle and marketing with engineering and technology. So we have the chance right now of moving from marketers to tech marketers. Uh, we don't want to sell products. We want to change the habits of our visitors, yeah, of the humans that we want to address with our products or services. And one of my favorite quotes about habits is that first we form habits and then they form us. That's a quote from Jim Rohn, which is a really nice guy and persuasive guy as well. So let's take a look at what the big brands are actually doing in order to change our habits. Imagine that Facebook wasn't around around here like 10 or 12 years ago. Yeah, it was just a small website for the students. But now, if you have too much spare time or if you want instant gratification, you go directly to Facebook. If you are going on vacation, you go to booking.com. So they've managed to build a whole chapter, a whole folder in our brains with them. So it's the first option because they've trained us to be so. If you are in a bad mood, you go to the onion. So basically, they are covering basic needs by changing the habits that we've had before. And there's a really cool scheme here from Nir Eyal and his book about habits. The thing is that basically, if you have a trigger that generated action before and you've got yourself a reward, then you become addicted and committed to the when you are getting the same trigger to make the same action in order to get that reward. So it's like a loop which is continuous. That's what you should do in order to growth hack your way to marketing success. So you need to find out the triggers that you should push to your audience in order to make them act differently. You should get them a reward each time so that they can start to do this again and again. So if you have an e-commerce website, for example, you should think about the repeat purchase rate, and you should think about communicating persuasively with your audience based on their behavior, like Target is doing on US. You know that story about that girl which was pregnant, and Target pushed some coupons on her without her family knowing that she's pregnant before. So that's how technology could be used in order to build new habits to your audience. And let's see how some cool examples about growth hacking. So Dropbox, it's a very cool example that tricked me to give them something like 100 new users. Tricked me. It was a trade at the end. I've got my reward for sharing Dropbox to my friends. I mean, at the end, I've end up with 20 gigabytes, which is forever for me. But I've exposed them to my whole audience, to my whole social network. So at the end, what is the value that you can provide to your audience so that they are going to speak about you with their friends and their acquaintances? Another cool thing, which is very old, but it's still a very cool idea from Hotmail. They've gathered 12 million new email accounts in their early stage in 1990 something by putting a small signature there. P.S. I love you. Get your free email at Hotmail at the bottom. So at the end, it's a very nice thing which is creating sympathy and curiosity. So at the end, they've they've hacked their way to change the habits of their audience to build their free email at Hotmail. And why is this so important? Why you should use these growth hacking techniques? We have a chart here with some statistics from Nielsen Global, and you could see that people are trusting, 92% of people are trusting the recommendations from people they know, and 70% from consumer opinions which are being posted online. And at the bottom of this chart, in terms of trust, 33% of people are trusting online banner ads, 36 ads on social networks, video ads and display ads on mobile, and text ads on mobile phones. So at the end, you have a lower investment to do in order to convince your audience to recommend you or to give them something in exchange than to invest always in advertising, because that's where all the crowds, all the companies are going to to trade money for visits. But what if you can change your perspective and paradigm? What if you can actually do something which is valuable and being perceived as valuable, that will make your visitors recommend you to their friends? So that's how the Bonobos recommendation program went. They grew from 1.6 million US dollars revenue to 4 million US dollars revenue in a year by giving this nice mechanism. Yeah, get $25 for each friend you refer. And then they've made the snowball become higher and higher without spending money into advertisement. So they did their work better. They've seen that any new customer is costing them maybe $30, and they didn't have that money, and they said, okay, what if we will uh, support our business by these referrals? What if we'll give them up from this discount that we can afford instead of paying for advertisement? And what if the people are going to talk about us? So at the end, the net promoter score of Bonobos is it was 78, while the NPS of Apple was 77. So basically, they trust the brand because their friends trusted it, and that's how it became the viral. So you should spread through recommendation. You should go viral with content. You should plant habits on the client that you already have, and you should use the power of leverage. You can have some key performance indicators about your visitors right here by going to this link. And the next chapter and the last for this for today is about personalization. So all the big companies are doing this. So they are such big corporations that nobody trusts. So not nobody, but fewer people are willing to trust big companies, that they are forming relations with their customers through their employees. Yes, so they are using this social leverage. So look what Starbucks was doing by writing the name so that they are becoming personal, and the guy which handles you the coffee is giving you your name on the can. That's what Coke did the same, yeah, writing the name of the customer, because 73% of the customers in the US claim that they like to buy from brands and companies that use data to personalize the messages and offers. And here is a technique that you should use in order to not being perceived as a big brother. So you should use the sandwich technique. So you should give things, you should use data that people know that you already have. So, for example, the geolocation, you should use their name that they've already provided you, but you can use this familiarity and then a new things and then familiarity. So that's how web personalization can be used. There are many ways to personalize the experience of the visitor. So you can use the type of device, the resolution, the geolocation. You can even use the weather. In Marketizator, you can use the weather conditions so that you can use the context, because the context is affecting your emotional state and your emotions are generating new actions. So you can also use the previous behavior, the calendar, the hour, buy this in 43 minutes to get it by tomorrow. You can use the visitor history, the access page, the amount of products that they have in their cart. It's if it's about an e-commerce. So you can use all this data so that you can dynamically adjust the website to the visitors. Here is an example about how easy it is to create these kind of segments through our platform. So you can use the geolocation and the weather temperature. These are some examples with personalization according to the hour. So this hotel sale, yeah, you have you should buy it right now because it's you can get it till 12 o'clock. And then the personalization according to the weather that Wasno paid they did. Another way is to personalize according to the city, yeah, just for Baltimore residents, and then the personalization according to the behavior. That's one of the tests our customers did. So for an e-commerce website which was selling watches, on exit intent, only for the visitors from Q&Q, they've re-engaged them before letting them away by giving them these filters like watches under $50, watches between $50 and $300, and above $300. In this way, instead of letting them bounce from their website, they've re-engaged them. They've made them see more watches that suits their budget, and in the end, they've gained more customers. Sorry about that. And the last thing, it's personalized about according to the user history. So for your first-time visitors that you don't have any relation with, you should use another way to address them and another way to present yourself, because your brand and your website is like a guy which enters to that door without knowing nobody at the party. So for the first time visitors, you want to create a relation, and the first step in the funnel is to present yourself and to show them how you are valuable, how you are different, how you can fulfill their needs. Then during the next visits, you could address different needs, but the first time is to create a relation. So for the first visitors, that's how Barkside Pet Hotel did for them. And because you've been awesome and because you've stayed so long with us, we have a gift for you. So it's a limited time offer available only today. If you'll get 3 months free subscription with our platform Marketizator, which is a 3-in-1 conversion suite. You could get A/B testing, web personalization, and also you can get triggered survey so that you can have behavior insights and to capture leads by using this code. It's 30 APR, and you will get 30,000 visits to test for free for 3 months. The conclusion for today is that action leads to results, and the results lead to performance. So guys, if you have any questions, this is the right time to put them. Laura, are you still there?
Yes, Valentina, I'm still here, facing myself in the western part of Romania. Okay, so that has been a useful presentation from my point of view at least, and I think I too have some actionable examples to start implementing in my marketing strategy, because you always keep learning. Why not? We learn at every step of the way. And we learn by hearing what worked for the others, what didn't work, and by knowing what industry recommendations say, and also by transforming at each step of the way. Now, thank you very much, everybody, for attending today. And make sure that at every part of your marketing cycle, you stay on top of the performance that you have set for yourself. Thank you very much again, and we are eager to see you at the next webinar.
Yeah, thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great day, and weekend is coming, so have a great weekend as well. Feel free to contact us. My email address is valentin@marketizator.com.
And mine is Dora@123contactform.com.
Okay, so best of luck to all of you, and have a wonderful day and life over there. Bye bye.
Bye bye.